road. It's covered in mud. It's time for the braking test. Going behind me, so for all my stuff. Ready? Okay. Whoa. A lot of ABS feedback, that's for sure. Good short stopping distance.
오늘은 저 처음으로 박스터 GTS 타고 이렇게 저 뚜껑을 따고 이제 집에 가고 있어요. 오늘 너무 더워갖고 오늘은 저기 열고 가도 괜찮을 것 같습니다. 원래 체감 온도가 엄청 떨어져요. 지금 73도인데 72도, 그러니까 한 22.5도입니다. 섭씨로는. 근데 22.5도면은 추운 날씨 절대 아닌데 밤에 이렇게 뚜껑 까고 계속 바람을 이렇게 맞아가면은 되게 추워요. 체감 온도가 한 10도 이상 내려갑니다.
The wheels are staggered wider in the rear at 19 by 10 with a 275/35 Michelin Pilot Super Sport tire. In the name of science, I am now going to give this thing the beans. Bolstering assessment. Excellent. Top marks for bolstering. The seats are comfortable and the bolstering is good, but I'd like to see an optional set of Recaros in here. And the seats are heated. Is that a button? No, it looks like a button. Oh, it's a light, maybe? I don't know. Obviously, they had to revise the center console here for the manual transmission shifter, and the shifter itself is nice. The throw isn't too far. It's notchy. There's no plates here whatsoever. It has the little GR logo in the center and a little pearlescent finish to match the dash trim. Pedal placement's not bad for my size feet. It's just a little bit wide of spacing between each pedal, but it's still good. It's easy to heel toe with. And as far as drive modes go, you have normal, individual, and sport. Go to configure individual, and then you can adjust your dampening, your steering, your engine, and then gear shift assist. This is your auto rev match downshift feature, which I have disabled, and I will leave it as such. Oh, is that an actual button? It is a button to zero out your tripometer. That's kind of old school. I like that. There's multiple modes for the traction control. You can tap it once, and it says traction mode activated, or you can hold it down and fully defeat everything. I'm going to keep everything disabled on mine and see what this thing can do. Ready? Get it.
Get it. Get it.
Oh, this thing's fun with a manual. That's good. So much fun. On paper, it's not as fast, but I didn't really notice it. Maybe a little, but not. It's a huge hood. Wow. Good job on the underhood paint, Toyota. That's nice. Underneath the hood of the 2023 Toyota GR Supra is BMW's B58 B3001, which is an all-aluminum closed-deck block, dual overhead cam, single twin-scroll turbocharged 3-liter straight six that produces 382 horsepower from 5,800 to 6,500 RPM and 367 pound-feet of torque from 1,800 to 5,000.
Expedia members save on travel.
RPM. Being that it is a BMW engine, it has that little canter off to the passenger side. Everything is constructed out of plastic to help with heat soak, valve cover, intake manifold, charge pipe, and intake. As far as a deep dive on this engine goes, there's really no point in me elaborating on it because there's a great video up above to Papadakis Racing's channel where he tore apart one of these engines when these cars first came out. So if you guys really want a deep dive on it, I suggest checking that out. But just over the basics, this thing has a 10.2-to-1 compression ratio with an 82 by 94.6 milliliter bore and stroke. And this does employ Toyota's D4S direct injection system, as well as it has variable valve timing on both intake and exhaust cams. Today's video is sponsored by me, because if you wish you had a Toyota Supra of your own, it just so happens I'm giving away one right here. It's a 1982 Toyota Celica Supra, the grandpa of this A90 behind me. And the link is in the video description below on where you can enter a chance to win this car. It's as good as you would think if you've never driven a Supra with a manual before and you want to. It's as good as you think. The number one thing that stood out to me the most, though, is even though this thing has a 3.4 final drive ratio compared to 3.1, it's still got long gears. Like, first gear, I haven't really tested it exactly, but it's somewhere well over 40 miles per hour. I personally am interested to see how this would be at a 3.9 or maybe a 3.7 final drive ratio. I know it probably wouldn't be any faster, but it would be fun. Now, handling wise, as you know already, the Supra is a phenomenal handling car. The manual transmission doesn't change any of that. It's the right size for a sports car. It's really about the same size as the GR86. The funny thing is, though, I still would take a GR86 over the Supra.
It's nice.
I mean, this is a much faster car.
I love it.
And arguably, it's better looking. I don't know, the increased power and speed of the Supra doesn't
love this.
as much as the driving
어떻습니까?
dynamics of the GR86. Now, the
시끄럽죠?
real question is, which is better, this
It's
or
loud,
the
right?
Z? And that is a really tough question. The new Z is appealing to me because I feel like I see a lot less of them than I do the new Supra, as far as which is a better car. A lot of people will argue they don't like the fact that this is part BMW, mostly BMW. I don't see why, because BMW makes fantastic driving machines. The Z was a lot of fun to drive. It felt like a little rod this thing does. And the manual transmission in that car, manual versus manual is a tough one. I don't know which car I choose. I would like the Z. If I was choosing an automatic versus an automatic version, I would definitely choose the Supra over the Z. The ZF that's in the Supra is by far leaps out better than the automatic thing. That's something that Toyota did just add is the plus function, which essentially just makes the robots a little bit more playful on uphill hairpin turns, which I don't have to demonstrate, so there's that. We also made some revisions to the traction and stability control systems to make the car less prone to snap oversteer, which I didn't really feel that was a major issue, maybe it's because I so I did notice that the manual transmission does make this car's ass a little bit more playful, as you should expect, but I also noticed that maybe it should just be underweight braking. It gets a little shifty, which is fun. If I had to pick apart anything about this car that I don't like, it's the steering wheel. I'm not feeling it. It's massive in the center by the airbag portion. This weird area down here, I feel like it would have been designed a little better. Also, the infotainment system. The infotainment screen itself is alright, but I wish Toyota put their own software on it just to make you actually feel like you're more in a Toyota vehicle. I do like the little physical buttons though.
오랜만에 11시 5분 퇴근하니까 차들이 많네요.
I like that Toyota stayed on brand and gave it a JBL sound system instead of what the BMW would have came with. Also, the infotainment controls just feel a little out of place right over here on the inside of the shifter. Using the touchscreen ability, the menu system is really
좀
easy to
내겠습니다.
navigate. That's a plus. The options that leave your lights on.
뚜껑을 따고 하면은 눈이 말라, 눈이. 바람 때문에 눈이 말라요.
I noticed this before, but the mirror on the passenger side visor is so
그래서
tiny.
My eyes get
The
dry.
spare change fax machine has a way to keep your cell phone flying out pennies. Storage wise with the manual Supra, it's still the same. Oh, subwoofer right there. Sounds good. Zero sounds good in this thing. My number one complaint with these that they still haven't really addressed is there's no physical button outside the bubble hatch. You have to go from inside here to the door. Also, another issue is the wind muffling, which I never talked about when I was Supras. On the manual transmission, Super takes a little bit of a hit over the automatic, but I would argue that's also largely on the driver. The driver makes an ass of it because how to take a mile like that. Or that's taken up. Here is it. Gas mileage. The thing I'm definitely looking forward for though is to see what Toyota does to the exponential stuff. But it's now time to give this thing some scores. So I can put the coming to the bean test. That's the feeling you get in your gut when you get the beans. And the 2023 GR Supra, the manual transmission, gets a rating of. It's fucking hot out here. Next is the cookie score, the assessment of value. And this, as equipped in the mid-50s, gets a rating of. Followed by the wrench score, the assessment of ease of maintenance. And manual transmission Supra gets a rating of. Followed by the split score, the assessment of handling capabilities, and it gets a rating of. And lastly is the payment score, the assessment on how much I personally like a vehicle, and as to no surprise, the manual Supra is getting a rating of. I mean, I love the automatic version, and yes, I would take the manual over the automatic. See you soon with another video. Bye! Light that it has coming out of the corner. Hello, people watching car reviews on the internet. Welcome to this, the 2023 Toyota Corolla GR4 Morizo Edition. This is one of 200 limited production versions of the all-new Rally Hot Hatch from Toyota. And today I'm going to get this thing up on the lift. We're going to nerd out the tech specs, see how it is constructed, and then go give it some beam.
GR4.
This thing is so sick. First things first, the Corolla GR4 has triple tips, just like the Civic Type R. However, unlike the Civic, this is a little bit more symbolic. It's kind of foreshadowing, I guess you could say, but we'll get to that later. And the Civic, like you see here, is really idle below 20 miles per hour or above 4,500 RPM. Just like all other Toyotas, the entire system is made out of stainless steel, and pre-muffler piping measures in at 65mm outside diameter. The GR4 Morizo Edition has a Torsen limited slip differential, as does the Circuit Edition. However, on the Morizo, you have a 3.578 final drive ratio, whereas the Circuit and the Performance Pack editions have a 3.4. Lots of cooling fins to extract heat out of it, and it has a sort of aluminum cradle which holds it onto the rear subframes underneath. It's all steel in construction except for the anti-sway bar end link, which is a very thick aluminum one. The GR4 utilizes a double wishbone and multi-link rear suspension. It's paired with a set of fixed-rate mono-tube KYB red body dampers, as well as you have some unique springs for the Morizo Edition. Rear anti-sway bar measures in at approximately 24mm in diameter. While the GR4 is based on an E210 chassis Toyota Corolla, it has a significant amount of improvements to separate it from that base model car, including 349 additional spot wells all throughout the chassis, with additional seam sealer to stiffen things up. And this Morizo Edition even tops that with some additional bracing underneath the car. Now, the three trims, the Morizo is the lightest at 3,186 pounds. You see the drive shaft is just up above the exhaust system right there, those heat shields. I'd be curious to know how much of this underbody was changed to accommodate the additional drive shaft of the GR4.
Experience cordless deep cleaning feel new home. With powerful disinfection and versatile tools for a fresh start. Pioneering.
뭐지 저게?
Up above my head, there is only one transmission available with the GR4 Corolla. However, the Morizo edition has a different transmission than the Core and the Circuit editions. This is the ISA 68F. The Core and the Circuit has the 68E. Biggest difference is first, third, and reverse have revised gear ratios for the Morizo. All of those transmissions have triple cone synchros on first and third, double on fourth, and single on fifth, sixth, and first. Being that this is a transversely mounted all-wheel drive configuration, that's actually not terrible. You see the turbo right there, the down crank to the left of the drive shaft, right up here is the steering rack. It's actually not that bad to access them up here. You also get a Torsen limited slip differential up front, and the GR4's all-wheel drive system has a center diff controller that you can vary the torque split from 50-50 to 60-40 or 30-70. Oh, there's so many different holes when you shove my finger in. Never mind. But up front you have a McPherson strut style suspension, all of which is comprised out of steel, other than your inner and outer tie rod, which is aluminium, and of course those red body KYB mono 2 dampers with Morizo specific spring rings. Whoa, that's a wow. Wow. Anyway, front anti-sway bar measures in at approximately 26.5-ish millimeter. What the ferret burger happened underneath here? Somebody hit something. That's neat. There's a little cooling vent right here under the engine of the airy cardboard. That's pretty thick. I love that the intercooler says GR4 painted on it. Alright, time for the braking test. No one behind me, so we're on the camera here. Ready? Whoa! Holy fuck! Whoa! That must be one of the best braking tests I've done yet. Wow! The distance, the stopping distance was short. Props to the tires. The tires didn't all the work really, but that was better than the Type R. I know on paper it shouldn't be that way, but that was probably the shortest stopping distance I've done yet. That braking was just made possible thanks to a set of 14-inch or 355mm 2-piece front rotors with a set of 4-piston bottom block calipers. Some fairly aggressive pads as well, because these brakes get nasty after a couple miles. Near the front grille next to the fog light, you can see the brake link depth. The wheels unique to the Morizo edition, they are 18 by 8.5 with a positive 30mm offset. Porsche monoblock BBS. I love that it has Toyota Gazoo Racing spelled out and embossed into the wheel, and it's painted too. It's kind of hard to get that cleaned up. I think it's white. Yeah, it is. The hail? This is like a Bluetooth tire. Well, you're definitely functional. It goes somewhere. And the wrap is set of 245/48-inch Michelin Pilot Sport Cup tubes. High five, bud. Out back, things get a little bit smaller, but they're substantial with an 11.7-inch 297mm slotted motor, single piece though. The caliper, it is a 2-piston monoblock, and the wheel and tire square stance, same size as you get up front. Science. I don't know how to give this thing. Bolstering assessment. Excellent. Perfect bolstering. They don't offer any form of insulation or ventilation. They don't need to. That just doesn't make sense to people like this. Want to do that. It does have Alcantara suede over all surfaces, as well as the steering wheel's covered in Alcantara suede. Red strip in the middle, so you can find center. It has a GR logo at the bottom. It's not a flat bottom though. The door cards have Alcantara suede on them as well, and the e-brake, and the shift knob and shift boot. And it's a rivet style, no stupid electronic one. Normally there would be the Morizo specific shift knob in here, but because this is a press car, sometimes they don't have all the options it's supposed to. As far as drive modes go, I have a little flappy toggle up here above the shifter that you can go from eco to normal, sport, to custom, which you can configure yourself. I also have a knob below the shifter for the center dip controller. So it's just sit there for track, or I can turn it for 60-40 or 30-70. It's not always that set in stone. You have it set in one of those modes, but ish. It will